Hi guys, and welcome to this episode of the Comedy Defect podcast. This is the 50th episode. I've been releasing one episode a week for the last year. And it's gotten really busy at the moment, so I cannot release them weekly anymore. I mean, it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing for me, but a bad thing if you're really enjoying these. This episode is with a really good friend of mine. I've gigged with him many times before. He's a guy with big energy, he's a big man, and he is a very funny comic. It is, of course, the wonderful Mr. Christopher Norton Walker. He is touring a show around the country at the moment called Yeah! And if you've ever shared a car journey with this guy, you will know that will be ringing in your ears for many days to come after you've shared that journey. He's a very funny guy, and this is not the same as all the other episodes. We just had a bit of fun, because it was the 50th one, and they're going to be reduced after this. And the next episode for this podcast will be on the last Wednesday of July. But this is a great episode. I said Chris is touring his show around the country called Yeah, and you can find all those details. He's on Facebook, he's on Twitter. Go find him there, and go and see him live. He's a very funny guy. You can follow this podcast on Twitter at The Comedy Defect. You can also follow me at WinterPhonander. You can come see my live stand-up gig dates as well. They're on my website, which is winterphonander.com. Now, I'm also looking through the Guinness Encyclopedia and taking out as many jokes as I can out of that book and putting them up on Twitter under the title The Book Dad Read. And the Twitter handle for that is at Guinness Jokes. As I say, guys, I've really enjoyed putting these out. If you want to support the podcast, you can. You can go to Patreon, type in The Comedy Defect, and you can donate as little as £1 or as much as you feel this podcast is worth. And those of you that do donate, thank you, because you're paying for the people that can't. And those of you that can't donate, look, do you know what? Just share your favourite episode. Tell your friends about it, because it tells people where we are and what we're doing. Or just go to iTunes and, go on your computer, leave us a nice, honest review. You can type it in, or you can just leave us, 4 or 5 stars, whatever you feel this podcast deserves. But this is a great episode. It's episode 50. Really good friend of mine. A lot of fun. We had fun doing it. I hope you enjoy it. It is the wonderful, the very loud, a lot of fun, Mr. Christopher Norton Walker. Enjoy. Christopher Norton Walker, welcome to the Comedy Defect. Oh, that's fucking great, isn't it? Oh, episode 50, the professionalism.
Yeah, comedy, here we go.
Keeps getting better, it keeps getting better.
I'm not going to let Winter say a single word during this podcast.
Oh, can't wait to edit this.
Instant tea.
So,
yeah, hello.
Christopher N-Dubs, welcome to the Comedy Defect.
There's only about 6 people that call me that.
How are you doing?
What, in general, or life, or now?
Okay, well, that's all more questions that I've asked you. I want to ask you one question you've asked me before.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to balance it out. So, okay, in general for now, how are you? Do you want a straw? You having problems with that coffee that I made you?
No, I'm good. Do all the podcasts start like this?
No, this is a special. This is episode 50. This is the paramount of all the work of the last year has gone into this last episode for episode 50.
The last episode.
The last episode. Until
Chris, there's going to be no more of these, so we thought we'd get you in eventually.
Yeah, I mean, we'll save the best till last, but I was being ironic.
So the best will last, but the Bonzo's already done it.
So yeah, that's why. Yes. I mean, one thing is until we reduce it to 1 or 2 a month. This is because it's weekly, and now after episode 50, it's going to be twice a monthly, or maybe just once a monthly. Depends on how much time I've got.
Oh, it is episode 50. It's really
episode 50. Way, yeah, comedy. Whoa. No, so I'm doing a thing. I've just morphed into Christopher Norton Walker there, guys. Just if you haven't ever seen this guy,
if you've not seen me, then
it makes no sense.
I look hilarious. I've also dressed up for a podcast. That's how professional I am.
That's it. So, how are you?
No, I feel as though this is going to be a recurring question throughout the entire... Yeah, well,
that's fine. That makes it easy for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Now, Winter, this is the 50th one, you said?
50th. 5-0.
Well, I have
5-0.
A little medal.
I've got a medal, guys. Oh, that's nice. We'll get a picture of this and we'll put it up.
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
You should wear it.
Oh, that's nice. WF and CD. 50th podcast. I'm going to put that on. That's great. Thanks, man. Yeah, I feel quite chuffed. I've got something for my all my efforts.
No money, no listenership, nothing. For the medal I found in the bed.
So what have you been doing?
Well, I have just been noticing.
Oh, you're just going to pick things out of my room and just talk about them?
What's
That's great, because that's great for a podcast. Oh, for fuck's sake. And we're actually, by the way, listeners, we're actually doing the standing up, because Chris doesn't want to sit down next to me. Hey, excuse me, I'm talking, this is my podcast. I invited you on, you didn't invite me onto your podcast.
I don't have a podcast for this
Exactly,
very reason.
exactly.
It's just going to be me shouting at people.
So basically what is happening is right, Chris is taking things out of my room, and he was just simulating wanking over the thing that he picked up.
Yeah, but what's it called though?
It's called 5 Minutes with a Pocket Handkerchief, and that was when I did my
It's the
magician.
most filthy DVD.
Yeah. Two girls, one handkerchief.
Well, what sort of podcast is this?
I don't know, but this is the 50th, so I don't know. This is it could be the beginning of something great. It could be like a prequel to something else.
But usually people are sat down.
It could be the beginning of the end, to be honest.
Should we just demolish where?
No, I don't think we should demolish it. Let's not
Why?
break this down. Look, this will be ages building this place, right? You know, so let's just carry on.
Okay.
So what's been going on with Christopher Norton Walker?
Well, I was going to message you earlier to apologise.
Okay.
Because I've not seen anybody all week, so I am a little bit excited.
I hadn't noticed, to be honest.
Yeah, I've been in Spain. I haven't seen anybody sensible.
Okay.
So, yeah.
What part of Spain were
A
you
bit
in?
excitable. I was in Torrevieja.
Oh, very good accent as well.
Thank you very much.
Very did well there.
I have been practicing.
Yeah.
Yes, went there for a week to do some admin stuff out there and to rehearse my show.
Oh yeah. What's it called again?
But yeah!
That's exactly what it's called. Yeah, comedy.
Although I can't really get that tone across on the poster, which you designed for me.
Yeah, I did. You're welcome.
Just a little plug there.
Yeah, I'll plug for...
If you need any design work, where a dog will slobber on your leg, then
If
come
you're
see
lucky.
Winter.
If you're lucky, that's extra. That is
Yeah.
extra. Yeah.
Maybe I need 5 minutes with a pocket handkerchief.
Less than? Half that? Is that 5 times?
Depends how tired I am.
So we went to... Where again?
Torrevieja.
Torrevieja. And what would you do? Just chill in and like... relax?
Yeah, so my parents have a house out there, and we were just going to do some admin stuff out there.
Cool.
Fairly boring. We were out there for a week. The weather was a lot nicer than it is now, and yeah, it's good fun.
With the whole family went out with you?
No, just me, my mum, and my dad.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So that was a nice little trip with the three of us. Yeah, rehearsed my show when I was out there for tomorrow in Plymouth.
Oh, very
It's
nice.
not going to go out before.
It's fine.
Tomorrow,
We'll
so
leave,
don't come there.
we'll leave it in. It's like a historical event of what happened. You know, it's nice. You know, it's like the archives. It's a Christopher Norton Walker archives. That's right.
So I've been learning all my pictures.
Right, you're a mind palace.
My mind palace. Well, it's sort of a mind palace.
Yeah.
So for most mind palaces, you have to imagine a room that you are in and then associate a word or a phrase with an item that's in that room. So people often say one of the good ones to do is a shopping list. So you imagine your front room and you go around and you see a chair and you put eggs in the chair. And then you see like a hat stand, you put bacon on the hat stand, and you see some curtains, and you put kind of cleaning products on the curtains.
Yeah.
So when you get to the supermarket, you can look around your room at home, and you can go eggs, bacon,
Benedict.
cleaning products.
Did you say Eggs Benedict?
No, I was being serious for a minute there, Winston. You just like, eggs Benedict, comedy!
Hey.
But that is the normal mind palace. Mine is sort of like a mind map sort of thing, where I have combined all of the jokes into small lines or pictures or images. Then you kind of put those together and just remember the images and then the sequence.
So then out of sequence, because you like improv quite regularly when you gig, don't you? You just go, okay, take a bit here, take a bit there. I was talking to Sean Sellers there, and he was like saying it was like a clown. You just reach up and take bits out and put them together.
What, me?
Yeah, you do that quite often, don't
Yeah,
you?
well, yeah. I think, especially when you have a lot of material to pick from, if something happens in the room, then you can bring that in. Or if they're not going for the cleaner stuff. So if it is like a Friday, Saturday night, then you revert to your last 2/3 of images because those are the bad ones. Yeah. The ones that people go, no, I don't like it. Why are you doing this? But this is what you wanted. No, it wasn't what we wanted. Can we have some clean puns, please? And it's like, it's gone too far now. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, somebody was saying that I have 2 superpowers. One is going crazy, comedy. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. One is going, here are some well-prepared jokes. Yeah. In one-liner form. I don't know of anybody else who does exactly what I do, which I think is good for the circuit and for everybody else.
Yes. Full throttle. Go down, like, what did I mean to say go down? I don't know, what, was that too much?
Hello, 5 minutes with a pocket handkerchief, okay.
But like, you know, you're high energy, you're a lot of fun. Oh no, right, okay, that's great. And and you do your own sound effects apparently.
Yes.
It's great. Perfect for podcasts. Thank you. Great. That's lovely. Just keeps the flow going. I mean,
thank you. The flow bit
as well. I'm getting old now. It's not much of a flow. It's more like a cloud.
Good.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a weird
cloud of dust.
Do you upload your sperm to the cloud? Can you do that?
Probably get done for that.
You probably can do that.
Yeah, RedTube. I don't think there's an option for that yet.
Well, no, but I think soon there will be.
Oh.
Wait, we just upload your DNA to the
You've
cloud.
been researching it, have you?
I think, certainly maybe in 30 years' time, 40 years' time, we'll be able to upload your DNA and then maybe,
What?
There will be no need for...
Well, you'll be able to upload your DNA and
intercourse.
And then millions of people could just reject it. That's what's going to happen, isn't it? Like, oh, is this your DNA? Well, that was nice. Good try. Everyone loves a trier.
Oh, no, that's really sad.
Totally.
Oh, God, it's just like...
Totally. It's like, isn't that what Tinder is?
Tinder for sperm.
Yeah, there you go. That's what Tinder is, right?
Is it?
They've invented Tinder, Grindr, Plenty of Fish, isn't it? That's what it is. That's all it is.
Is it what I suppose? Yeah, I suppose it is.
It's exactly the same, is it? Oh, is that you? Oh, well, reject. That's it. It's... so much fun. Can't wait for the future. Well, I'm married, so it doesn't matter. Don't anyone. Oh, no one knows.
This is really awkward now that winter's coming out to you all, that he's trying to find somebody else on Grindr.
Coming out? Handkerchief? Pocket, 5 minutes of pocket handkerchief?
You're doing your own jokes.
I do my own jokes, yeah. Well, it's my podcast, I know that.
Or should you be the straight man?
I am a straight man. Are you a straight man?
Are you?
I think you are.
What?
It doesn't matter. We live in, let's not constrain ourselves. We live in a gender fluid society. It doesn't really matter.
Well, that is true. But interestingly,
let's not go with our old-fashioned thinking of gender binary, like ones and zeros. Oh my God, what the hell? Wow. I'd like to cover everything on this podcast today. Yeah.
I went to go and gig in Oxford and got talking to a comedian there who said, "Why don't you, as like a writing tool?" Why don't you take out all the female gendered others, girlfriend, wife, not that I've got any mother-in-law on but that sort of thing. Why don't you take out all the gendered others and just make them into partners?
Yeah.
And I thought, well, that's a weird thing to do. Why should I do that? But actually, you don't want to be heteronormative. You want to include everybody. And they were saying that if you, as a white heterosexual male, is only talking about a girlfriend, there'll be people in the audience that aren't like me, not be able to connect as much.
Yeah.
But if you keep saying partner, then maybe more people will be able to
join in.
Visualise
themselves. I've got a medal, Chris. Have you seen my medal? Yeah. I've got a medal for the 50th podcast. You know that? Yeah. We got serious there. It's great. I totally agree with that. It's a good idea because then you're more inclusive. That's what college should be. Yeah. Did you go out? Was there any funny things happen to you while you're there, or did you just like chilling, just like writing some stuff and like just absorbing the relaxed kind of environment that you're in? Did you manage doing gigs? Is it too far away from anywhere to do gigs?
Nothing funny happened at all. I don't think. I found some Marmite that was 10 years out of date. It was sort of the same.
Was it? It's like honey. Does it ever go off? Yeah.
I thought honey does go off in a way because it solidifies, and you shouldn't eat honey because it's not vegan.
Well, you're not vegan though, are you?
Well, no, I'm not, but I'm vegan friendly.
Oh God! Let's
be inclusive to
everybody. You're just going to go. I'm not a vegan, but some of my best friends are vegan. That sort of thing. Is that what it is?
Well, I do often go on vegan car journeys with the vegan comedians, so I do have to go and buy breadsticks and hummus and Oreos and Skittles and grapes.
Does their side of the car have to be hermetically sealed as well? Does it?
No, I can enjoy those things as well. That is fine.
Okay, fine. That's good.
Skittles. Get in my
phone. You should come back. You've got Plymouth tomorrow.
Yep.
And you're in the Barbican, isn't it?
Yeah. So I have played the Barbican before, but I've played the cafe of the Barbican. It's always sad when you get booked for a lovely theatre venue and you get the address and you think to yourself, wow, I have made it in comedy when you just turn up and there's the big theatre in front of you. Like the LPAC in Lincoln, turn up and just like, this is a wonderful theatre, let's Google this, incredible. There'll be thousands of people and you're just playing the tiny area that they have
next to vending machines.
Yeah, just cleared for you. Yeah, it's not even like a stage sometimes. It's just like a clearing in the corner. Where's the comedy? Where's backstage? Where can we go? Yeah, you're just over there in the dusty bit. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sort of sums up comedy for me. And my career. Yeah. Hello.
So you're an actor.
Yeah, okay.
So you're an actor by trade.
Questions?
I'm just asking because we want to get to know you. We're going to do some stuff. We're going to do some stuff.
Oh, what stuff are we doing?
We're doing it right now.
Okay.
Well, this is kind of an interview, like a sort of impromptu interview with questions that you will answer eventually.
Okay.
But we'll get there with some bits in between. Okay. Why are you covering your nipples? It's all right. Nothing's going to happen.
No, but this is one of the sexy... I don't know if you've talked about this on the podcast before, but this is one of the sexiest places I've ever been invited to. Have you seen your throw over the sofa?
Well, we're going to see it now. It's on Instagram, by the way. You'll find it there. It's a tiger. It's a tiger print throw. That's what it is. Yeah, that's the thing. It's not seductive. Maybe I don't find it seductive anymore.
Like, if I was asked to audition at somebody's house and they said, yeah, can you just come back to the container at the back of the house, please, and just sit on this sofa that looks wipe clean with a throw, like a sexy tiger throw on it, I'd be like, I don't know how much I want this job.
Well, there's no job here.
Is there not? Like, it's just not for money?
No. Or sexual favours.
I have dressed up for nothing.
You started off as an actor.
That's not quite correct.
Okay, well, tell me, what did you do first?
So I went to go and do a drama degree in Leicester at the Montfort University. Yeah. And then went to go and do a master's in a devised theatre practice at the Royal Central School of Speech and Drama in Swiss Cottage. So I have that drama background, but it's not quite an acting background, if that makes sense. It's more of... So devised theatre is all about finding props and influences and just kind of bringing everybody together and bringing all sorts of information together and within the group trying to discover what the play that only you could construct here and now would be about with these people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it really helps you with your improv skills then, does it?
Yeah.
You're taking everything in, like going, right, what can work in this moment?
Yeah, so essentially, every week for my masters, we would be brought together in different groups with people from around the world. Forced. Like forced to get.
Is there a couch like this? Is this taking you back? This couch, right? Forced to. Oh, how bad did you do on the audition?
I don't want to fast anymore. No, I don't like it. 5 minutes with a pocket handkerchief. And kind of forced together to create theatre with an outline of what the tutors wanted it to be about.
Yeah.
This week, but we always went off in different directions and created something very different each time. So I've just been asked to do, by another comedian, a show that is sort of exactly that in July, where there will be an influence and I will have to try and do my set, but there will be other things that will be coming at me at the same time, not like this. Around the sexy way, dogging. It is in the car park. I'm told to just do my set under the influence of other things that are going on.
Right, okay.
I've gone to go and do...
so it's a mixed media thing, that actual physical things are coming at you as well.
I don't know about physical things. From the brief outline I've read, it's going to be very odd and weird, and I can cope with those things.
Cool. Where is that going to be?
In Leicester.
Right.
Leicester often do some interesting things up there. I've gone to Dance, D-A-N-C-E, Dan Nicholas, where we had to improvise along to some contemporary dance.
Right.
So the comedians had to do contemporary dance, and the contemporary dancers had to do some stand-up. And we would switch, yeah.
And how did that go?
That went actually very well. But I know I'm in the room with you, but I'm sure the listeners can feel your tone of voice and your face going, this sounds horrendous.
It does, it sounds fucking terrible.
No, it's actually really interesting and really fun to go and do, because you both help each other out.
Of course.
And we all had a really good time doing it.
Great.
It's just for fun as well, you know. It's not make or break, it's something different. You get to network with different people, you get to see comedians that you haven't seen in a while. Yeah. And it's just a different thing, maybe just to take yourself out of this small bubble that you have within your own set, your own...
Yeah, I know what you mean. You just get stuck on the tracks, don't you?
Yeah.
You just get, I've got to go to this gig, go to that gig, it's just you. and then just kind of like you might find a new bit in there just because you're doing something completely different.
Yeah,
and all your improv skills, you're using a different side of that because I've never done a joke with an interpretive dance because you're yes-anding them and they're doing this because you're watching them, I guess, as well at the same time, and that's great. It sounds a lot of fun. Dance, D-A-N-C-E.
D-A-N-C-E. Yeah,
cool.
And there are lots of videos online of that, so if you'd like to go and have a view of that, that's a really fun thing to go and do. And it makes you think about what you're doing with your body on stage.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people only, especially in this medium, not of podcasting, but of stand-up, they only think about the words. Whereas if you are on a big theatre stage, or if you are even in the back corner of a pub, you need to think about the physicality of you and how to draw people in with your body, with your persona, with... Draw people in with your body! There is definitely a link here. I think I'm going to have to face away from the sexy sofa. It's making me use words I should not be using.
Seduce.
Come on here, okay.
Come to me. Well, you do that anyway, Chris. You do actually do that, though. I've seen you on stage. You do actually go, oh, you're looking at me. Oh, okay, with the eyes. No, it's getting a bit weird now. It's getting a bit weird, no?
Oh, wait, that is a learnt response in theory. So I never used to do that. That is not a thing that was always there. Yeah. That is a learnt response from going and doing weird gigs in the middle of nowhere, where you would turn up and go, we're the comedians, and people would actively sigh in your face. Oh, God, why? So you just need something just to bring everybody in and go, comedy, here we go, look at me over here, come over here. Yeah.
But the weird thing about those kind of gigs is like they pay to sit there in the front row and they go, oh, comedy. Isn't it? It's very strange.
It's all odd. Sometimes they happen, sometimes they happen. So there are pubs that I've walked into and the pub landlord has gone, right, it's comedy time, they've switched off the TV and there's been this audible kind of grumble. Oh, God, why didn't we comedy again? Just watching the football. And you just think, why are you doing it in here on this day when they clearly just want to sit here and watch the football in peace?
Yeah,
and that's fine. It's certainly coming up to the summer now, and there are certainly gigs I've gone and done where I've been like, well, if we have to do comedy, that's absolutely fine, but I would rather be outside in that pub garden like those people over there, rather than sat in this dark and hot room going, comedy! Oh, okay! No, okay.
Right, Chris, tell us about some of the worst gigs you've done in the last few years. How many years have you been going now, Chris?
About 6 years.
Right.
Should be funnier.
Oh, no. What?
I don't really know what that laugh was, Winter. It's a very odd laugh.
No, you're fine. Yeah. You're funny as you should be. Yeah. That wasn't even a backhanded compliment. It didn't even come out that way. We're friends. What? I don't know where that came from.
Are we?
Because I can't... Yeah. Well, you got me a medal. You got me a medal, so I think we're friends now. That means that we're friends. Maybe it's just a tag. Is
that how
have I just been tagged? What does it say on the bottom? Podcast. Okay, that's what it says.
Yeah.
It looks like Poocast.
Some of them have been a bit... I'm going to leave that there.
So you've been 6 years?
Yes.
And you're also a big imposing dude, and so you also do some acting on the side as well, right? What particular acting do you do?
You can call it acting if you want to. I'm certainly with an extras agency, but they don't call it extras anymore.
What do they call it now?
They call it supporting artists.
Or Phil.
I often go and do those, and you will have seen my arm or shoulder or foot.
Oh, yes.
Or just the back of my head. Certain things, yeah. It's a fun thing to go and do, but you need to realise that it is really tedious, and you are just essentially like a background prop where they just need people to be walking around just to make it feel more busy in the background. So there was one occasion where I was doing some filming in London on the street with normal passers-by just walking around, and they said, right, Chris, we're glad you're here. Can you go and stand over by that shop window, please? And I said, yes, of course I can. Would you like me to do anything? Would you like me to walk up and down? Would you like me to be kind of looking into the window? You know, what's my motivation about this? And I said, well, no, Chris, we've picked you specifically because you're big enough to block out that advertising in the window. Well, this is, great, sure.
That's my confidence boost for the week. There we go. Oh, man.
I'll go and do that then, shall I? That's fine.
Surely you could have just had a poster or something, big...
They spend so much money on just things they don't need a lot of the time. And I quite like to see, in a way, shows where they don't have any extras, any supporting artists, just to make it feel as though you're more focused on the things that are going on in front. I don't know. I may sort of do myself out with some money. It's not the most glamorous of things. Yeah. There is some money in it, but not huge amounts by any stretch. And it can be quite sad.
The food is amazing though, right?
Well, it depends. So certainly the food on these sorts of things can be good because you'll have a catering truck, but then you will be on this big kind of converted bus to sit with all the other sad extras. Sorry, guys. Here you are. But to sit with all the other sad extras, you're never with the crew, really, and you're never with any other stars of the show, so it is just kind of like a sad gang that you're in.
Yeah.
But some of those people who are on those kind of buses and shows and things are like a professional extras, and they're on everything all the time. And I don't think I could do that. Like, I think I need some creativity in what I do. Mm-hmm. I don't just want to turn up to a film studio on a daily basis and be told that you may or may not perform that day. Because there have been days where I've done it, where I've been brought into the studio and had my costume on, ready to go, and time just got away, and I sat in that room all day. Nothing happened.
Like I did extras for a bit as well. I did as like for a few years ago. Your brain just gets addled, doesn't it? You're like, people take books and like start playing games and whatever it is because they just get so bored.
Say drums then.
Was that the mind? The mind drums there. I meant games. I meant card games. That was it. Like I was actually doing a magician thing. That's what I was doing. Yeah. There you go. 5 minutes with a pocket handkerchief. It's more sinister than I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, some of them can be quite interesting. There's such a range of people that do it. So there are some people that do it professionally, and they can talk to you about the people that they've met and kind of things that they've been on, the film sets they've been on. And then there are other people that just kind of come in for the week or so and have like a proper job outside, but decided to go and do something more fun and interesting. And there are people, there are weird people as well who only want to meet the stars.
And there's a look in their eye, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's that kind of look, it's a bit scary.
Those people need to be avoided because those people are, A, there's no professionalism about them, and B, they just want, like, they're kind of power hungry, and it's odd.
Leapfrogging people to get to the next person sort of thing.
Well, yeah, they're leapfrogging to get to the next person, but the next person is like a star,
yeah,
and all they want to do is meet that star. It's not that they want to progress their career, I don't think. It's just that they want to meet this person because they're there. Yeah, it's odd.
Well, you've done a lot of auditions in the last few years, have you?
Yeah, some, yeah.
Because when you're worst, give me your worst.
Like this. Give
me your worst audition. This is not a casting.
It does feel like it hits an okay.
What's the last few years? It was the worst audition you had to do.
Okay, so it was not an audition, but I went to go and have a role in a pilot for a more successful comedian. And sadly, I had quite a featured role in it as well, but sadly, it never saw the light of day. Right. And those are the most frustrating ones. It's not the auditions that go really well and you miss out on. It's more the ones where you filmed it and you're going, watch this, it's going to be brilliant, and then you're not on it. Or, like that one, it's just never shown. And people worked hard on that show, and I was there, and there were loads of other people that were there as well to be on it. But nobody ever saw it, I don't think, because it was a weird concept.
Okay,
it was more of like a
experimental show sort of thing.
No, it wasn't experimental. It was more of like a cheap show in a way, because this person would find clips on the internet and sort of talk about them or reconstruct them. It just never worked, I don't think, or just wasn't kind of exciting enough that people went, yes, this. So yeah.
So you've been performing since very young. Then you were in like plays and all that when you were in school. Is that right?
Yeah. The weird thing about me is there are friends that I have that have gone to Sylvia Young or other like drama school for kids and things. So I never did any of that. I went to school and just kind of like a normal kid that did all the normal things, and then I was just kind of asked to be in a couple of plays, and then sort of from that point on I considered drama to be a fun thing to go and do at university. I could have done other things at university, and I think one of those other things was going to be architecture, and I think that's why I do a lot of the images and things,
right.
So that I kind of have that sort of mind for things. But the sad thing about this picture, that thing in the Mind Palace, is I only discovered doing this about 8 months ago.
Yeah.
So it's just been a really sad thing where I could have used this at school, but now how it's all here. And I was certainly talking to a teacher earlier on the way here, and they don't do that sort of thing at school really to that extent.
Right.
And I would have really liked to, because now I can condense the 230 jokes that I have in my set down to 40 images. And I'm saying that actually there's a small little rhyme that I can do to get those 40 images down to about 20 images.
Right.
Of kind of rhymes and things. So it's just weird having that much information down to about 20 pictures.
How does it feel when you're comparing and you go, so what do you do? Architect. You go, you're an architect.
Well, it was the same thing.
Do you go, well, I've got a fucking mind palace. I've got a fucking mind palace with 200 and how many? 30 jokes?
Yeah. To be an architect takes 6 years. So I could have done that, or I could have been here with you today. So,
well, thank you for coming. That's great.
Yeah. It's quite sad now, Winter, thanks.
Do you want the medal back?
No.
So, okay.
My own medal thing.
So you want to be an architect?
Comedy.
So you want to be an architect, right?
Well, I had an interest in it, and I wanted to go and do it. Yeah. It didn't really work out. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a sad ending. I wanted to go up. Hey, we can always go up now. But so we talked about gigs before. And what was your worst gig you've ever done? Because we've done some ropey gigs together. But what was the worst?
We have. But I think we've often made them work.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I think worst is a relative term.
Yeah.
There have been ones that I have built up in my own mind to be a big thing, and then they haven't quite succeeded in being that. Mm-hmm. There are ones where you make bad decisions.
Sure.
All of the bad gigs are either down to user error in a way, or your own fault. Mm-hmm. So it's either down to the venue not having lights, or a stage, or an audience, or being in control of who they let in and out, and just not having the trappings of theatre that will focus everybody.
Mm-hmm. No sense of occasion.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you need that lighting and that music and that sound and that stage just to get everyone in the right place mentally and focus and up for it. But I think some of the worst ones can be your own fault, where you just make the wrong decision, where you talk to the wrong person, or you don't do what you should do because of things. So there was only a gig I went to go and do where there was a fairly attractive lady downstairs. She came up to watch the comedy, and she heckled. I was emceeing, but I didn't put her down enough, because I thought, you're quite attractive, I won't slam you. I think people in the audience thought that I wasn't in control enough and things. So I think those are bad errors of judgment. But then sometimes you learn that there are good errors of judgment in a way. So I went to go and do a gig in Romford Way, where this small pub was so busy. It had 2 christenings and a funeral and a comedy at the same time. It was so loud that you just couldn't do anything with it. Me, with my loudness, through a PA, we couldn't be heard.
You actually threw a PA.
It wouldn't have made a difference in there. People were so distracted, it would have made no difference whatsoever. But certainly, me and a PA, you couldn't hear us over about 3 feet away from the PA, and the PA was turned up so loud.
Oh man!
I was emceeing. I did kind of 15 minutes on the top, just trying to get everybody in and a bit closer and focused a bit. And then we put the first act on, and it wasn't great. It was a bit awkward. But we had to have an interval at that point just to go, what are we doing? Why is this happening? And I think the experience kind of went, right, well, I'm the only one being paid as the MC. You guys are going to get nothing out of this. If you guys all go home, my job as MC is to introduce all of the acts. If there aren't any acts here, then we can all go home. So that's kind of exactly what we did. Yeah, I think you're either one of 2 comedians, I think maybe. One's where you will go and sort a venue out, and you'll come in, you'll move the chairs, you'll move the people, you'll get some music playing, or you'll just go, it is what it is, well, we will make it work or not. I'm more in favour of moving gigs to a different venue, or moving things just to get everybody on. I'd rather have 12 people that have really enjoyed it than 112 people who are a bit like, what? I can't hear. It's just, this is boring. We're going to go. So
yeah, just kind of try to set the room up, man.
Yeah,
that's the most important thing. I always do that. Like I had a gig in Newquay recently, and the microphone was near the door, and there was like the Man City match was on the same day. and there's a tier of where the match is
a tear on your face.
There's many tiers. 5 hours driving to Newquay, and then getting there and going, oh, there's a microphone here, the door is there, the match is on up there, and the audience is, oh, you see that speck in the corner, the audience is over there. I was like, this is never going to work, and so I moved everyone over to where it could possibly work better. There's no lights there, but the light was over where the desert was, and then we moved everyone and it made it work, and I was emceeing, so it was fine. But and so it was a fine gig then, it was fine. It's just learning again, that experience of learning what to do with it.
Yeah.
So. But I'm interested about when you first started performing.
Yeah.
What was the plays you were in? Was it like were you a shepherd? Were you like a funny shepherd, or were you like a funny sheep, or is that too much?
I certainly remember a primary school.
Yeah.
I was a narrator for the school Christmas nativity.
Yeah. So you're like, religion, yeah.
Here we go. Jesus, yeah.
You watch that, these guys, hey.
You're from the Saint Mary. Okay, big round applause. Yeah, I'm a Whoa, okay, manger. No, but that should be in the set now. Right, we're workshopping here, guys. It's gonna be brilliant. Yeah, just from that, like I've always enjoyed being on stage. So certainly that nativity, we always had kind of plays in primary school, and in secondary school I was in a few plays there. So I was in Greece. I was the car. No one.
I was the bus.
I was the guy on the radio.
Okay, all right.
A very snazzy jacket that I can put on the put a picture up of.
Okay.
Where I was like a snazzy radio guy.
Okay.
Some Guys and Dolls as well.
What were you in that?
That's a good question. I was Brannigan in that. He's the guy that wants to arrest the main characters.
Okay.
So I was in that. Yeah, and just done lots of smaller little bits and bobs. Mm-hmm. Like I've always enjoyed the funny side of it, and I've always enjoyed getting laughs, especially on a stage. Like a stage laugh is different from a stand-up laugh, and it's that stage laugh that just kind of infects you, and you go, I want more of this. How do I get more of this? So certainly after drama school, I thought, let's go and try everything I can do. So let's go and try stand-up. Let's go and try some acting. Let's go and try some radio bits, and some writing bits, just to see what sticks. Because I know that from my course, there are actually very few people that are working on a regular basis. But I thought to myself, especially with stand-up, you have quite a fun day, really, because you don't necessarily wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning and go to work, and that bit's quite fun. But also you can choose when to work. But the only downside with it is you don't have that sort of camaraderie that you have when you go on tour with people, and you're on tour with people for a month or more, and you're doing the same lines in the same play, and you're trying to find ways to make it live and fun for yourself to do every single time.
So you're doing that, and like you miss that part of it. I mean, we get it a little bit, to be fair. I mean, we do a lot of gigs together as well.
Yes, yeah.
And like we get that kind of, you get that from certain people on the circuit. You see quite regularly at gigs. But I know what you're saying, though, because it's a very solitary pursuit.
But a car journey is different to doing it on stage, live.
Yeah.
And I've not rediscovered sketches that I want to do with people. Because at least with sketches, you can have that theatre and be live and be funny. Not necessarily something that I want to think about more of, because I always find sketches a little bit restrictive. They don't always have to be, but I just find them at times slightly simplistic, where you go on and go, oh, hello, Wing Commander, I see you've got a banana in your pocket. Well, it's going to be hilarious consequences in a second. 7, 8, 9, there it is. Yeah. And it's that sort of thing. It's not always like that, but because they are sketches and they are like a very thin slice of life that you have observed, it's just, like, for me, a little bit...
It's rigid, it's condensed too much, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. And there's not a lot of room for play, and there's not a lot of room for that sort of liveness that happens a little bit. So, when you are emceeing, it's live and there's things that happen in the room, and you can just, you can storm off theatrically and you can kind of berate people. Which I don't do at all. No, absolutely not. But you can have those things, and it's when you can add that bit of theatre in. But I've not found yet the right kind of sketchy type things for me yet.
And that's going to be separate from your stand-up, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
you're going to make some sketches, not a one-man sketch.
Well, I don't know, but sketches aren't really the sort of thing I want to do because I do find them far too restrictive.
Yeah.
If I can find a way of doing them in a way that I find fun, that are maybe like improv game wise, a
loose frame sort of thing to just play around in.
Certainly, this is something that I was thinking about for my show. At one point, just finding, having a whole kind of experience about it, and you kind of bringing people on stage and you having fun with them, and but I couldn't find the right way in, and I don't necessarily want to be a lot like, because in my mind that sounds a lot like somebody I went to school with, and their show, but their show is a lot more, because I went to school with Nick Helm. So,
right.
So it's often with Nick's shows, they are often kind of big extravaganzas of him having a breakdown, and then kind of celebrating that and kind of shouting things in people's faces and being silly with them. So I didn't necessarily want to go down that route. See where the anger lies. Just in that school. So loud. Yeah. I don't know if it is just like St Albans that's quite loud. There's Nick, and there's a banjo as well.
Wow.
Can you imagine if we all went in a car journey together? That would be the loudest, weirdest, strangest car journey in the world ever. But I was looking into finding a way of just incorporating fun and things. But I think I have now with my show. So my show is, by Chris Norton Walker, is an hour's worth of one-liners with a bit of chat in there as well. And it's quite pacey and fun, and there's sort of things to look out for. Yeah. I will be doing my show, and this is an exclusive to the Winterphone and a Comedy Defect podcast. I will be doing my show, at St Albans Maltings Theatre on the 12th and 13th of January. So, certainly in those shows, at the Maltings Theatre on the 12th and 13th of January.
2018.
Yes. There's lots of stuff to see and do, so I will probably project the pictures that I have. I'll have props that relate to the jokes, and I will have questions that people can read and try and find out which questions the jokes relate to as well. So there's a lot going on, and what I wanted was for there to be so much going on in a way, because I'm performing these jokes and there's pictures and there's images and there's props and there's questions, and there's so much going on that I kind of want people to come back for a second time and see a different thing. And I think that is a more interesting show than just a man standing in a pool of light that I've seen in kind of big theatres. A man standing in a pool of light and going, joke number 36, joke number 45, because then you've got everything kind of in, haven't you?
Yeah, it's more satisfying because
I think so.
As you're saying, the question thing really intrigues me, because when you're writing your normal set and you're putting callbacks in there and you're setting, you may set something up. Hopefully, that the thing you put in for a callback is funny, but if it's not hilarious, they know that there's a thing that you've just put in there for later on, but they don't know why it's there yet. But it's still interesting, the fact that that was fun, amusing, but the thing before it was funny. The thing after, and then later on it's even more satisfying because you've answered that question for them. So that's going to be a great show. It sounds great. I'm really intrigued, to see it.
Yes, the callbacks, recurring topics.
Yes.
A lot of the props that I will have refer to individual jokes. But there are things like flowers that can relate to graveyards or death or love or kind of those things that you can read more than one thing into. The questions relate to individual jokes. What I haven't done is related the questions or the props to recurring ones, because you should be able to see the recurring ones in front of you. And if... I don't know if it is the case. I don't think it is the case, but I think possibly half the jokes I have, maybe 1/3 of the jokes I have, relate to something that's going on in front of me, and so there's always something that you can go, oh, I remember 6 jokes back when it was that one, you know. So it's got to be funny first, and then you have kind of layers on top where you see different things and you read different things and you hear different things and you just kind of put them all together in a puzzle. I've not got a final thing at the moment yet, but I have 7 months until my performance at the Mortings Theatre in St Albans, January 12th and 13th.
2018.
That sounds like an edit that you've just done afterwards. 2018, Chris, 2018.
Yeah.
Where you bring it all together, I don't think. Certainly one of the questions is, how do I relate to the Argos catalogue?
Yeah.
And that is one of the last ones that I will do on my list, which I think you've seen before. There'll be some numbers on stage.
Yeah.
And those numbers will never be referred to until the penultimate line of the show. So those will be there, and people are going, "Oh, I've worked everything else apart from this. When are you going to do this?" It's a bit like, and I'm going to get this wrong.
Deal or no deal?
No, it's not a deal. Well, I mean, like
pick a number.
Well, there was a part where I was going to either get them all out, as I was doing it, or pack them all away as I was doing it. Like, I think that's an interesting thing as well. But I thought that would be a bit distracting.
Yeah.
Where you'd be doing some jokes and you'd be packing some things away when you got to it. And that was certainly one of the ways I was going to go and do it, but I think that's just a bit distracting and a bit time-consuming in a way. And it kind of reduces down the tempo with it. It's like Chekhov's gun. So Chekhov's gun is a theatrical term where if you put an item on stage, that item has to be used. So I think in one of his plays there's a gun that's on stage and you see this gun and you're just waiting for somebody to use this gun. So I think it's a bit like that, where you are waiting, you're trying to work out when these props happen, where and when. And once they're kind of done with, you're either going to forget them or you're going to re-establish that they're there through another word that I use later on.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you could also use that with, like, there's, I mean, with all the little props as well, you're going to improvise with the mood of a piece. I guess I'm imagining you could do that. Like, you know, you talk about flowers, you've got things you can use that with, and then other emotions you can of how whatever is going to happen, because it won't go the same every night, will it? So you can just orchestrate the audience with whatever prop you have.
Well, I think that's the question. I mean, either I talk about the props,
sure,
and I kind of go, I bet you did that one, or I don't mention them. I don't know what's more interesting to do, whether just to say, here's me, and these are some things around me, and just wait for people to realise what I've done, hopefully. Because I think there's going to be two sorts of audience. There's going to be people that just enjoy the words and go, oh, that's quite nice. And there's people that are going to read more into it and go, I see what he's doing with the laptop and the flowers and the shoes, just kind of bring it all together. So I don't know.
That sounds fun, though.
I hope so. I need to remember to keep it pacey and also to improvise a little bit, because essentially my plan B, which is me going, oh, come on, here we go, is like the most fun part of it. And certainly when I went to go and do my show in Leicester, it was an odd time because it was 6 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
And I didn't have any chat. I went straight into the jokes. But you learn something from each different show, and I've never done an hour before. So it was just kind of going in, and now when I'm going to do the longer shows, there will be a little bit of chat and a bit of energy that's kind of pumped in. But if it is on a big theatre stage, then you can do more stuff with it. And I think if you go and do like a small intimate show, maybe here, there's quite a nice space here. Yeah.
Really? Is there a show here? Really?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll try it.
Because you stand at the back here, you don't need very much room, really, and you can pack in 20 people into here.
Wow. Could try it, maybe. Give it a go.
I mean, I don't really... I mean, you're going to have to bring people through your house, aren't you?
I could come on the side. Come around the side.
So, yeah, I think you could run...
A little intimate workshop here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might work. You never know.
You know, and if that is the case, then you can have things around you that are on tables. You won't have as many props as you'd have in a theatre. But you could certainly have the questions and things like that people could go, oh yeah. Yeah. So I think At this moment in time, that's what I want to do. But let me go and do the shows in Plymouth tomorrow and in Hastings on the 15th of June.
2017.
Yes.
Improv. I'm on it. Didn't drop a beat. That's it.
So after those shows, hopefully I'll have more of an idea of, oh no, the 15th of June. Oh no, that's when you're going to die.
No, that's 2068.
Okay, all right.
So we're okay. Got a few years left.
It's your anniversary of death.
Yeah, that's right. Great. Why have I got a prequel to my death now?
Do you need
every year?
Like,
that's a sad anniversary. So you can't go, yay! Oh no. Well, it depends on how you look at life, doesn't it? Really.
But do you need to explain that, or has that been explained
that's
before?
never been explained before.
Okay.
I've got a date for the time of my death, and this is an optimistic projection. 15th of June. Oh, I've just lost 10 days. 15th of June, 2000.
The cigarette you had when you were 13, yeah.
But this is the optimistic one. I was like, technically this is pessimistic anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the optimistic one is the 15th of June, 2068. So yeah, that's my when I'm going to die, guys. So that podcast will probably end probably on that day as well. It's probably going to end that same day. Yeah, 2068, 15th of June, guys. Oh, yeah. Sorry, there won't be another podcast the following week.
So have you put the word Friday afterwards? Have you worked out which day it is?
It's a Friday.
No, that's really sad. Like, were you born on a Friday?
I don't know.
Really don't know.
I wasn't, I didn't know the days of the week at that point.
Work it out.
I can't bother.
Okay.
What is it?
You can be bothered to scroll through to 2068.
Knowing my luck, I'll probably be born on a Monday, more likely.
Monday's child is full of woe.
Yeah.
Tuesday's
or woo, which is no.
Monday's child is full of woe.
Yeah.
Tuesday's child is full of woe. I've messed this up. I think which one it is.
I can't remember. Right. Tuesday's child is full.
Wednesday's child is full of.
Oh God! You know this so well. I mean, I think. I'm glad you brought that up. Whoa! Oh yes, love yeah. So okay, what else has gone on with you, Chris? Then you've got
no link here.
So you have parents.
Yes, I do.
And
yeah.
What do your parents do?
They are quite interesting in a way. That they...
So you're like a backhanded compliment.
Well, I'm not sure I could do what they do, and I'm not sure they could do what I do. They certainly work with highly disabled adults and children. Oh. They will give them wheelchairs and special seating kind of care, and they will design their seats, and they will look at exactly how the child or adult can sit and interact with their chair to be able to give them exactly the chair that meets their requirements. So they have been to go and see Stephen in Cambridge. Oh. Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking. Yeah. Fully drop that name. Just Mr. Steve.
Stevie, yeah.
Professor yes, Stephen Hawkins, yeah.
So they've been to his house and they've been to his office in Cambridge University. They have done some work on his chair, and they know the guy that does...
he's dead now, isn't he? He's dead now.
Really awful. And I was thinking it was one of these podcasts where you mention a celebrity and they died slightly later on.
Yeah, well, I hope that doesn't happen. It's not my fault.
Or like a death list podcast.
Because me and Stephen really hang around an awful lot together.
Stevie, yeah.
Steve-O. He doesn't like Stevie. It's still patronising.
Yeah.
Steve-O.
Yeah.
You know.
Steve-O. Don't do the voice. Don't do the voice.
It's not. How's that? What? He's white. It's fine.
It's racist to robots.
It's not. Okay, it's a racist to robots.
Racist to robots is a good name for a podcast. Start that podcast.
Right. Isn't it?
Like, just do 50 of each different podcast.
I think so. Look, one of them's going to take it off.
No.
And you've even got Santa socks on today.
I have.
Why?
Because you posted a picture on social media yesterday on Instagram. What is your Instagram?
The Comedy Defect.
Very good. Yeah. You posted a picture up on there of you in some fancy socks, saying nobody will ever take me seriously in comedy because I'm wearing funny socks.
Sorry, let me rephrase that.
Oh, sorry.
People do take me serious. I said, I just want my comedy to be taken.
Not those slippers, mate.
Want my comedy to be taken. All right, don't heckle me. All right. I don't want to slam you.
Well, go back inside and heckle your wife then, shall I? Oh, yeah.
Is that your girlfriend? Oh, no, why not? On your own, mate. Fucking hell. Billy, no, mate. All right. Well, if you weren't here, I'd burn me on as well, so...
But at least I know that your wife now exists.
Thanks.
Because there was a point of time where she was only a voice on the end of the phone. And
those are the good old days. I know, I love her very much. She's great. Hashtag 2017. Hashtag
Year of the
still
divorce.
Hashtag make it up to her later.
I bet you will.
No. Comedy? No. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. See how we go. But like, yeah, so no, the quote was on that Instagram picture was, I just sometimes want people to take my comedy more seriously. And then I look down and I'm wearing yellow socks with a moustache and eyes on. But yeah, so you're wearing Santa socks because why? Because you're a rebel.
Because
I've started a trend. Have I started a trend?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Well, I don't think you should start to think about starting a trend. I think trends just happen, and you just follow them.
Here, just let me write that down on the whiteboard.
Okay.
Trends just happen.
Yeah. You can't engineer trends. I think either people are interested in.
Sorry, I just wrote just, and my hand just
got bored. Mate, I got bored while saying it. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I just went to sleep at the end there. It's a big line. Just with trends just and you. Okay, that's good. Right, so
no, but trends just happen. You can't engineer them to happen.
Really sell this to me.
But either look at me. Trends just happen.
No, more feeling.
You have to convince everybody else that this is a thing.
Yeah,
I think people need to jump on it rather than you jumping on people and going this.
Okay.
In the park.
That's that's a bit. There's a bit too much eye contact there. A little bit too much energy. Okay, that's a bit too close, right? Okay, you're not. This audition is soon to be over. But
I hope so.
So your parents do that, and
yes.
You got a brother, haven't you?
No.
You don't have a brother?
No.
Sister?
No.
Cat?
I'm classically an only child.
Classically an only child.
Because
so you play violin?
Because what? Is that what that
classically.
Oh, I see. No, I thought you were talking about like a weird kind of period drama piece. Drama piece. Like a horror movie where there are only children that play a creepy violin in the roof.
Oh, well, violin is it's creepy, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, like...
Is violin the creepiest of all instruments?
What's more creepy than a violin?
I think harp can be a bit creepy.
Yeah?
In the right context, a kazoo can be quite creepy.
Yeah, that's a bit... Well, of course. Well, Rolf Harris hasn't done any favours, isn't it, with a kazoo?
No, it's a didgeridoo.
Oh, sorry.
You shouldn't mention Rolf either.
He's not what?
He's still in prison, isn't he?
Is
he still in prison?
Well, I think we're safe if he's in prison, isn't it?
Well, in fact, my mum goes and assesses people in Category C prisons,
okay,
which are the paedophile prisons, for their wheelchair needs.
A lot of them need wheelchairs now, do they?
A lot of them. Well, you will often find that some of the older prisoners need specialist care and seating.
Oh, okay.
So,
right.
Kind of some of them.
Yeah, but like you think you would try to make them less mobile rather than like make them more agile, isn't it? How's that chair working out for you? Oh, it's great. I can chase the kids way easier now. Meh.
That is one way of seeing it, but I think a lot of them will not be able to get out because there's not a ramp at the front of the prison. So,
we got left. Done well. We've done very well.
Just mumbling into your head.
Done well. So we're going to really bring it home strong at the end, right?
Ladies.
So, comedy.
Hot. Are you hot?
It's quite warm in here because the sun's hitting it now and it's getting warm. So
it's not like a fan that you can put on or anything.
No, because it'll just fuck up the sound. So
it's either the sound of the fan or me just dripping sweat onto your floor.
That'll be fine.
I hope it's sweat.
Oh no.
So good at comedy.
So what's the next move for Christopher Norton Walker?
Well, I don't know. I think certainly taking the show around the country will be a good thing. I'd like to work more on social media because at the minute I don't have enough followers. So if you'd like to follow me on any social media, anywhere, just type Chris Norton Walker into basically anything and I'm there. Not Bebo though. Or Friends Reunited. That's closed down. But the weird thing about Friends Reunited is they had a Facebook page. What's the point?
I heard MySpace is really big, isn't it? MySpace is really...
I thought that MySpace was having a slight resurgence because Facebook was a bit too restrictive, and certainly on MySpace you can do more with it. And MySpace was always there to find bands and things like that you like. And
it's more simple, isn't it? You can put your gigs up there nice and easy.
Yeah,
great. I really like MySpace. It was brilliant.
I find that me putting like a gig list up takes a lot of time. Things drop out and drop in on a regular basis, and I don't often have time to update it, but certainly if you find me on Facebook or any social media, and then I'll be able to tell you where I'm gigging locally in the short term.
So what else do you do apart from comedy, Chris?
What
else? What else?
That is an interest. What are you doing there?
Just stretching. We're standing up. It's a standing up podcast right now. We haven't sat down.
That is one of the problems, in a way, with me. I don't know that stand up. I don't know if it's the same for you. The stand up takes up so much time and effort that there's not a lot for anything else, and it's often that I have to be booked in socially a month or more in advance. Otherwise, I'm just don't kind of see anybody. I see you because you're around the corner, but apart from that, that's about it.
So you're working on the show called
Yeah.
Barbican Theatre.
Do I regret calling it a sound rather than a name? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So you do that, and you're doing the extra work in between.
Yes.
And
sometimes.
you are going to be working with the improv director. Is that what you or another comedian doing an improv show, which is going to be different media by the sounds of it?
In July. Yes.
In July,
which I can't announce yet because it's not been made public, but I have been made.
Making it sort of semi-public, isn't it? It's not really, but it's not really. You haven't really given me much details. You go, well, I'll do this thing with this other guy, and it's going to be lots of improv, and it's going to be lots of kind of games. And he's going to like maybe it sounds like the Gauntlet. He's going to throw stuff at me, and I'm going to improv it. Do you know? You sure it's not like a weapons testing facility where they start throwing, hey, just improvise your way around this, no?
Oh, well, it was certainly talking about superpowers earlier on, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Just like, I'm going to just... Oh, do you think...
I don't think you finished your superpower thing.
Do you think that I can deflect bullets just going, yeah?
No.
Should we try? Do you have a gun? Let's just...
No.
If you don't know that.
No.
But you don't know that.
Okay, try it.
Chris sadly died 3 minutes after recording this podcast.
This podcast is dedicated to Christopher North Walker and his overconfidence. So we thought he could stop
but don't
bullets
we
with
all
his...
die as comedians through overconfidence? That's an interesting thing. But do you think that all comedians die because of overconfidence?
Oh, do you mean on stage?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Arrogance. Just, yeah, totally. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I think you need to write that on the board as well.
What?
That people die of overconfidence.
People die of overconfidence.
Yeah.
It's debilitating. Yeah, because you've got to get humble pie, isn't it? You've got to be humble.
Well, I certainly think we as stand-ups are different from a lot of other performers.
Yeah.
So for acting, those actors have to usually be backstage and not talk to anybody and focus on what they're doing and really be in the zone and within their character, and they can't be distracted, and they are a certain...
Is that what we do with an extra
No, I don't. Just like, where do I want to stand? In front of what?
I'm just going to get to the... Oh, I'm just going to stand here. What are you doing? I'm just getting... just cover that banner there.
Oh, you want to stare motionless into the distance, looking a bit hard? All right, here we go. Every bloody time. But certainly for actors, they need to be in their own little thing backstage, where with us, as you know, it's usually a case of, great, I'll put you on in 4 minutes, take your coat off, put your bag down, I'll see you up there. It's more of just having like the time to prepare and the time to be ready and just kind of go, right, now, okay, let's go. Just taking that first step. Whereas actors need to be ready, need to be backstage, and they have to kind of prepare and there's the call, and then kind of float on the stage, and they go, hello, Shakespeare. You know, but we just like, oh, comedy, here we go, get on board. Oh no, the man's been sick in the corner, ignore him. Here we go, comedy, your dog is drowning me, okay, comedy. You know?
Yeah. Well, we're going dogging later. Oh, no.
What's the second reference to dogging? Do you need to,
Chris, I've seen you live. Dogging, you mentioned dogging quite...
No.
Yes.
Absolutely not.
Oh, come on.
I do a clean set every time. I have not spoken on your podcast.
No, you have.
When?
Earlier on.
When? What did I say?
I think it said bollocks.
That's not so bad.
Yes, of course it is.
No, that's kind of like a 15, 16.
Oh, come on, it is.
That's not like a 12A. Is that 12A?
I don't think that. I don't know. Because, well, isn't 12A related to, like, gruesome violence and stuff like this?
No.
If we're going through film...
Look it up right now. Pause this, look it up right now.
No. So, Chris Walker. I don't know how we're going to end this. This is episode 50. This is episode 50.
How did you want to end episode 50?
With joy. So, Chris, we can come see you in Plymouth in the Barbican Theatre.
Yes, the 1st of June, 2017. Yes.
We can also come see you in Hastings on the 15th of June, 2017.
Good.
And we can also, if we want to wait that long to see you in January.
Do you want to have another go at that word?
January.
Why are you saying that in a really weird way?
I think I'm just getting tired. January.
Tired of podcasting, tired of me, tired of what?
It's the 50th episode.
Comedy!
So, January...
I'm having fun.
January 12th and 13th in 2018.
Yes.
Right, well, Chris, where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on Facebook, you can find me on Twitter, you can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Snapchat if you want to, you can find me on... other things.
Tinder?
No. You can find me on loads of... No. You can find me on not Grindr. I knew you were going to say. I knew you were going to say that. No. You can find me on Groupon.
I said Groupon.
Okay. Being heckled in this podcast. That is rude.
Oh, Chris. Well, Christopher Norton Walker, thank you for coming on the Comedy Defect. I had a great time, man. It's great. Cool. Episode 50. Bring it in.
Yeah.
Get a bit weird now.
Do you often have a hug at the end?
No, I don't actually. No, I don't. It's a bit hot in here.
Are you always naked when you have the...
No, okay. I'm not naked.
All right, I'm
not naked.
Okay.
I'm not naked.
Thanks.
No. I think you got the audition.
And that was episode 50 with the big guy, big comedy, Mr. Christopher Norton Walker. He is touring a show around the country called Yeah. And if you ever shared a car journey with Chris, that yeah will be ringing in your ears, a bit like tinnitus. But he's a great guy. Go find him on all the social media and go and see where his show is, because it's a great show. You can also follow us on Twitter at The Comedy Defect. You can follow me at Winter Phonander. You can also come see my live stand-up gig dates, which are on my website, which is winterphonander.com. I got a room at the Fringe and I'm there for the full run, and that is from the 3rd to the end of the run of the Fringe, and that is in the Three Sisters. It is in the Marquee from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. From 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the Three Sisters in the Marquee. So come and see my show. It's called A Side Effect, ASIDEEFFECT. I'm loving writing it. I just need you to come and enjoy it with me. It's going to be a great show. I'm really excited about it. So please come and see that. For the full run of the Fringe in Edinburgh, I've got a room. Hey, it's happening. So come and see it, guys. I'm really looking forward to it. As I said to you before, after episode 50, and we just had that with Mr. Christopher Norton Walker, the first episode I did standing up, and I've released them one a week for the last year. I've just gotten so busy I can't do it anymore. So they're going to be reduced to 1 or 2 a month, and the next episode is going to be released at the end of July, and that is the last Wednesday in July. If you want to keep updated on all the events and all the guests that are coming up, go and join the Comedy Defect Facebook group and you'll see what guests are coming up. If you want to support this podcast, you can. Just go to Patreon, type in The Comedy Defect Podcast. You could donate as little as £1 or as much as you feel this podcast is worth. And those of you that do donate, thank you, because you're paying for the people that can't. And those of you that can't donate, hey, look, just share your favourite episode. Don't think that someone else is going to do it. If you like that episode, you share it. Tell your friends about it. Or if you really like the episode, just leave us a nice, honest review on iTunes. Maybe if you just want to leave a starred review. Or maybe just go a little bit further by leaving a text review, because it really helps. It tells people where we are and what we're doing. Now, guys, as I say, this is the 50th episode. The next episode is going to be released on the last Wednesday of July. So we're going to say goodbye for about a month and a bit while I get my stuff together, because I got loads of stuff to do. I've really enjoyed releasing them once a week, but hey, I've only got so much energy and I've got no minions. But I've really enjoyed this, guys. There will be more released, so join the Comedy Defect Facebook group to keep updated of the guests that are going to be coming on the show. So that's it for now, and I will speak to you in July.